Alright, so it looks like it was just the indexing issue. It was the Bale was referencing the shader index was wrong, so quick fix. And I saw someone mention it was I. It brings up this menu. I wish it would be in the autosave interview. Let's make it. I was wondering why, like, it kind of randomly freezes on me. I think that's the autosave that's going on. Time scale at night. What does this do? Each time 0 night starts at 21 and ends at 6. Valley times 100. I don't know what that is. Lift scale. Dynamic hose difficulty. Always work and auto. One hose must be attached for that type of function. Let's see what that does. AI end shift. Start hour 6. Let's make it like 10 o'clock. No, let's make it midnight. AI and rate. Overtime rate 2. On farmer's touch. Alright, perfect. I think we're all good. That game extension script is pretty handy. These swaths are pretty messy. It's hot. So we're getting a pretty decent crop of hay out of this field. I'm sure the yields are pretty. That's nice. That's a good photo op, right? It is a good day for making hay. I haven't seen any updated videos for Letterkenny. It's kind of disappointing. I'm gonna see if I can set up this auto baler. Auto unload. 1 second. Let's see if that works. Have I thought about putting seasons mod in? Yes, I have. I'm just not sure if it's gonna work with the 16x map or not. Oh, this auto load is stupid. I don't want that. I'll probably mess with seasons. Probably save this map, put it in Dropbox, and then try to see if I can add seasons. You know, make a copy of it. That way, in case something gets messed up, I have a decent working version to fall back to. Imagine like this game trying to like render snow all over this map would just cause it to seizure. But it'd be nice to see like the trees and stuff change colors because it's all the in-game trees, so it should change to the texture since it's all named the same. Yeah, cool. The auto unload is pointless. It's gonna cause more problems, especially if you're bailing on a hill. I thought it would allow me to keep bailing, but it's not a square bailer. Yeah, I mean, I keep looking at the developer, the GitHub site for Seasons Mod, and they're literally making changes to it hourly still, even though they released it public already. So when you look at the comment section, they're fixing so many errors and bugs and enhancing things. So I probably won't mess with Seasons Mod until they come out with the second version of it. Just based on the number of changes they're still making on GitHub. And really, I'd like to keep this map as bare bones as possible. I do have chopped straw, just because it doesn't take much to add to a map. That way, if you do have an issue, it's easier to find the issue and diagnose it and fix it. Yeah, I mean, I could honestly see Giants buying that from them, or at least them getting a certain percentage if they were to make it like a DLC or add-on. From what I've seen and what I've read, it's definitely a game-changing mod. It just doesn't enhance the game; it actually fundamentally changes it. Much like in 13 when the guy released the MR engine. Totally changed the game, because if you never played Farm Sim before 15, it was a total joke. I mean, the physics now are bad, but like in 13 before the MR engine came, it was like literally a joke, like like unplayable. Now they're starting to get a little bit better, still far from perfect, but compared to the 13 era. And then soil management, they kind of incorporated a pretty diluted down version of that, but before even doing that, there was really no point to even own any piece of tillage equipment, because you could just get a planter that does direct seed. And yeah, like if you wanted to, picking up bales in 13 was mission impossible. Like, good luck. I don't even know why they had bales. That's why people invented the bale locking scripts and the auto load scripts that are still used, because it's convenient now, but in 13 and stuff it was mandatory. Like, you couldn't, the physics was just so terrible. It was just a bad joke. I think now that Giants is making some decent money, they can hire some talented people and raise the bar. I remember reading an article when FS17 came out. I think there was more people playing FS on Steam than there was like Call of Duty or something like that. And you don't think of Farm Sim as like a mainstream game, but it's getting there. It's like, for a lot of people, they like it because it's a very structured sandbox type game. My ultimate wish list is getting a multiplayer to be an MMO format. That's the dream. Doubt it will ever happen, but I mean, honestly, what other games are out there that, I mean, besides like war games and shooting games, it's not a whole lot. I mean, you had like the truck sim games and stuff like that, but those are so like one-dimensional. It's like, it's got good graphics and it's kind of a decent driving simulator, but it lacks so much of what Farm Sim has. Like, it's very primitive in what you can do. Flight sim, again, like, great simulators, but that's all you do. I always thought it was weird that they added logging to this game. Because you don't really think of agriculture and forestry are the same thing. But whatever. The physics for trees is not even that great for logging. I have a lot of issues with collisions when you stack logs. Maybe one day they'll get that in the bale systems fine-tuned. It'd be nice if they could like beef up their Giants editor too. I noticed that when I'm working on this, it's not very powerful of a program. It's nice to like move stuff around, but Giants editor is notorious for being super glitchy and crashing, and the whole Giants editor stopped working for no apparent reason thing. Be nice if they can improve that too. They have a modding for dummies book out, but I wish they would make a modding for non-dummies, because there's really nothing that explains the the i3D of a map. Like when you're looking at crops and stuff like that, I haven't really seen anything that lays out crystal clear of what everything means, like foliage layers, number blocks, the channel number channels. I have no idea what any of that stuff means. So like, why can some crops be plowed under and others can't, you know? It'd be nice if they could like make a more in-depth modding book for that stuff. That'd be really helpful. Because right now it's just kind of a mystery to me. The LUA scripts tell me nothing. Not a computer scientist, I don't know what that shit means. So how many bales do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 so far. This is number 13. This this map is built off of Osceola, Wisconsin. Well, the town is Osceola, but it's built along the St. Croix, so it kind of has both Wisconsin and Minnesota sides in it. Right now we're let's bring up the PDA map. You can see where we are. Down the middle is the river, St. Croix River. West is Minnesota. East, where we are, is Wisconsin. Built using real elevation mapping and satellite images for all the trees and field placements. The biggest field on this map is 288 acres, and I think someone, I mean that was by Courseplay, it came out to 288, and I think someone was tracking the field boundaries on Google Earth or something like that, and they came out with 285 acres, so plus or minus 5 acres on a 280 acre field. It's pretty decent for being pretty much spot on for scaling. Pretty low standard deviation of error there. I really have no idea how many hours I have into this map so far. I'd imagine a couple hundred by now. And I'd imagine I'd probably have close to, probably over 2,000 hours into this map by the time it's all finished. Um, Between actually placing everything and making all the custom buildings I need to make for it, and all the blender work, and that's not including in-game testing. It's gonna take a long time. I'd like to work faster in Giants Editor, but it's just not, it crashes if you try to do too much at it one time. So you gotta be kinda slow and patient with Giants Editor. This is really annoying. The foliage layers, the only way you'd be able to mow an actual foliage layer is if you made it part of the main fruit in the i3D. These bushes, you can't mow them, but you can till them under with a plow, and that will actually get rid of them. You can't mow them, but you can get rid of them by plowing, which is nice. I know some people use like placeable, not paintable bushes like giants, and you can't get rid of those without going into Giants Editor. So that's a nice thing about paintable crops, is if you script it correctly, you can actually use cultivators and plows to get rid of them in game. So we are done with this field. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 or 18 bales. Not too bad. I imagine we're probably going to pick off another 8 on this last hayfield we have. I think with that seasons mod, you can actually go in and fine-tune like animal production rates, like how much food your animals use, how much they produce, like milk and waste and manure, and change the prices too. So I haven't finished the fencing, but I got one side and it's pretty close to being. I brought it up past this little hut, and so I need to finish this last little section of fencing, and then the fencing will be done. But it goes. I did quite a bit. I mean, I placed all this fencing. It's a pretty large pasture. Comes all the way around here. Goes into the woods a little bit. Along here. Along here. So this like took a pretty decent amount of time to place this fence. And paint and redo the navigation, and then some more fencing comes and it wraps around. So home stretch with the fencing. I need to build a new dairy barn to reflect the one that's actually there, so it works with the layout. And then I'm gonna turn these silos into fermenting silos. And I might make this a grain silo. And it's a placeable hut. And then there is another silo that's like in this area. I'm not really sure what it is. To go and like Google, figure out what that is. Started adding animations to the gates. I need to finish up garage doors and stuff like that. So this is all the pasture that we're driving through right now. You can see the cows eating. Just place the standard in-game triggers over here for now. This cow's in my way. No big deal, just drive over it. So the fences are the worst, literally the worst. So everything you see, this, I didn't finish this. I need to come back and fix that. But to make sure everything is aligned with the terrain. Kubota? I didn't even know Kubota made balers. From what I'm told, these John Deere balers are legit workhorses. Come on, baby. Can make it. Fairly decent hill we're trying to climb right now. I'm not sure what the horsepower on this tractor is. I think it's close to 200. Hopefully this bale doesn't run on the hill on us. Perfect. This baler doesn't have any script. I'm not even sure if the scripts work anymore, or if they've been converted over. There used to be you could buy net wrap and stuff like that, and this thing would wrap your bales, and then you'd have to reuse it. I remember using I think it was like a premium baler in 13 that had the scripts for it. Worked really well. Used to use the 7930 tractor all the time. Yeah, I think this map would look amazing with that Seasons mod. I think I'm gonna try that tonight. I'm gonna try installing it. See what happens. It would be nice instead of just adding pigs if they would have added pigs and beef. I know a lot of these small. Well, these guys, I believe these guys do dairy. But I know a lot of the smaller crop farm guys, they don't farm enough acres to make any money. To make a living just with crops, so they do a lot of beef, so it's kind of surprising that Giants only added pigs and not beef as well. But I don't know if beef farming is a big thing. I think Giants is a German company, or at least it's European. I'm not sure if beef farming is real big over in Europe. But usually, like the dairy farms that I know of, they usually run a couple hundred head of dairy cows and a couple hundred pigs as well. Like I was saying earlier, in 13 I believe you could increase the number of visual entities in your navigation mesh. Like you could do like max visual entities and max entities in your user attributes, but I tried doing that in 15, it didn't work, and I tried doing it again with this navigation mesh, and it doesn't seem to change anything. Only I have 60 dairy cow now, but only 25 show up. And I'm on high everything, ultra settings, so. I mean, like, people get upset about slaughtering animals, I understand that, but why would you add pig and not, why would you add one and not the other? I mean, there's really no logic behind one and not the other if you're trying to avoid offending people. I mean, the whole point of raising a pig is to slaughter it for your pork chops and your bacon. And honestly, who doesn't love bacon? I'm pretty sure if two countries were at war with one another and you offered them bacon, they would make peace. Or a pizza. Either or, I'm sure is fine. I'm actually not missing very much. Very little. Yep, I still have my 970 graphics card, haven't changed that. I probably won't update for a while, just because it was such a fiasco last time I updated my graphics card. I was running a GTX 460 before, and then when I bought the new 970, it didn't fit into the socket of my motherboard. Like, my old motherboard didn't even recognize it, so I had to get a new motherboard just for my new graphics card. And then my old CPU, my Intel chip, it was a $2,500K chip, didn't fit the new chip socket on the new motherboard, so I forget what I paid for the 970. I'm sure it's like $300 or something like that, but I ended up spending probably another $600-700 on a board and a CPU chip just to use my new graphics card. So I was kind of upset about that. And this new CPU, like, I can't overclock it. My other one I could overclock to like 4.5 gigahertz. This one I add the little bit of voltage, which it's supposed to be able to overclock, and it just comes super unstable. So, like, my computer's slower, even though I spent, you know, basically $1,000 upgrading everything. It's actually underperforming my last build. So I don't think I'm gonna update any of my hardware anytime soon if it's not gonna work. Anyways, we're all done baling. I'm gonna see if I can sneak some of this off the fence. That I'll be able to pick any of this up. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm still using the same water. I have a water cooler on my chip. Still using the same hard drive, same water cooler, same case, same power supply from when I built my computer back in college, 2010. Oh, this is. I wonder if I could bale this stuff. This is all that stuff. Yes, I could bale. It's the dirty stuff that I'm supposed to clean up. Alright, so now all we have to do is run around and collect our bales. So what I think I'm gonna do is get the truck, hook it up to the gooseneck, which I think it already is. Drive over to this field over here and bring the bales back. I could just stack them on the edge of the field, but I kind of want to do a little loader work and load them onto the trailer for a bit. The other two fields I'll probably just stick them in a corner somewhere. So I actually built this hitch so I could have a proper fifth wheel hitch. It's one thing that was lacking with the trucks. So we'll putz down here. See if we can. Alright. Go go find my loader tractor. Yeah, Clayton is pretty close to where I grew up. I don't think I've really been to Clayton very much in my life. I know it's close though. Yeah, the truck, the engine configuration I have has the 6.6 Duramax specs in it. It also has the 6.1 Vortec engine specs. Unfortunately, I haven't figured a way to change the sound files when you change the engine, which would be nice to go from a gas sound to a more of a diesel sound if you change the engine specs. Made a thread on Giants Developer Network and never got any kind of useful response. So we're gonna try to load some bales. I could have easily just put these on the side of the field and ran over here when I wanted them, but might as well just bring them back to the farm. So this is just a little single spear bale fork. I made a dual one for the front loader, but it gets kind of heavy on the front unless you had the dual wheels set up. Technically, this should only be 4,000-ish liters since it's a 1.8, so a full-size bale, but the in-game bales, which are half-size, are 4,000 liters, so I had to double the liter total. Uh-oh. Move over. This is a 6170R. It's the smaller of my, well, I made a 6145 and a 6155, which are a little smaller. They have smaller wheels. People are asking what computer I have. Everything is in the video description. So just kind of peruse that and I'll answer all of your questions. I feel like doing loader work with these tractors would be a pain in the ass. The visibility is so poor. You can get 2 more on there. The rest of these I'll probably just put away on the edge of the field just because it's easier. I wanted to load a few bales with the loader. If these bales were a little more forgiving, a little squishy like the real things, it'd be a lot easier. So I forget what the actual dimensions these bales are. It's like 1.8 meter, whatever the full-size bales are. Let's see if I can get a good picture. That one's cool. So I actually don't have a second loader tractor, so I'm kind of screwed on bringing this thing back to the farm. But this is a high country Silverado. I don't think I have any kind of bale lock. Oh, tension belts. There we go. But I do have bale straps. Yeah, these are real life size bales, not the Giants half bales. So we'll buzz on back to the farm. I said the rest of these bales I'm just going to stack along the edge of the field. No traffic on the map yet, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. I'm not sure what the actual dimensions of the bed is on this. I think it might be 16 footish. I'm not sure. I have to measure it out again. The overall length of the trailer is obviously longer, but the actual deck is, I think it's 16 foot. I could have put 2 more on the end, but I'm gonna keep these bales over here because I want to see. I'm gonna put the fermenting silo script, and I'd like to see if I can put these bales in there. So I'm just gonna park this thing next to the shed. That way I have some bales to work with once I make some changes. Anyways, all there's left to do is move bales and then watch the crops grow. Haven't used these things yet, so I'm curious if these have been properly converted. I never converted them, so I'm gonna be curious to use this auger and this grain bin during harvest. Anyways, I'll probably end the video here. Go back and keep working on the map a little bit, or go to bed. It's like midnight here. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.